Hello! For my supermarket tour, I chose to focus on the very beginning and entrances of my local Sobeys grocery store. So here you can see the huge carts. I didn't see any of those smaller, more compact ones at the beginning when I entered the store, which was quite interesting to see. It talks about in the readings as well how you have these large carts and then people feel the need to pile them full because they feel guilty and a little bit weird about the fact that maybe there's only one or two items in this huge cart. So it was interesting to not have seen those like half carts or even really seen baskets near the entrance exactly. You kind of had to go into the store before you saw the actual baskets. Once I entered the store, I figured that I would hear music like I had in a bunch of other stores. And what was quite interesting about this Sobeys that I had visited was there was a very faint sound coming from the speakers that was some sort of music, but it was very undiscernible. And I couldn't really figure out, it wasn't like a song or pop music, nothing like that. It was sort of almost like an ambient, you could almost look at it like elevator music, which was quite interesting. I don't know whether maybe it was the time of night that I was in at, that the music was a little bit almost sleepier. As discussed in the reading, when I entered the grocery store, I was faced immediately with especially these two items, so the waffles and then the 99 cents gloves advertised for women that were directly at the front. And the reading was talking about how you have certain things like this at the very beginning or at the very end where they're kind of treated as impulse buy. So I walk right in the store, I see that things are on sale, and I purchase them, put them in my bag, and I don't necessarily go back to it until I'm at the cash register when it is in theory too late and I'll end up purchasing it. So this here is at the beginning of the market as well, and it was really interesting to see how much the whole local product and like made in Ontario, made in Toronto was advertised with these huge, big red and like multiple flags that really drawed you in so that you could see that it was local and it would draw you more towards that. In the readings, it had talked about how the most expensive products tend to be at eye level, and as I was walking in the very beginning of the store and observing, I could see that the most expensive sort of exotic fruits and vegetables were the ones at eye level when it came to all of the prepackaged, pre-made items as well. This particular Sobeys was set up like all of the other Sobeys and many grocery stores that I've been in, meaning that when you go in first, you turn right because most people are right-handed, and that was mentioned in the readings, and then it goes straight to the produce because it's the freshest and they want to get rid of it the fastest. The other interesting thing that I had observed was the water that sprays down on all the vegetables, and it's not necessarily there to water them. They're hopefully going to be moved fast enough, and sometimes things like broccoli or asparagus are already displayed on ice. The water seemed to be there more to make them look very lush and appetizing. And as you can kind of see in the photo of the greens, they're not perfect, but the water makes it seem a little bit fresher and more tropical. The last thing that I had observed was the bakery and prepared food section. That is immediately at the front of the store. And I seem to think that the reason it's there is, again, similar to the waffles and the gloves. It's there for an impulse buy. You're hungry as you start grocery shopping. You see the nice croissants. You see the different pastas that are already made. So it's easy to buy that and sort of eat it or munch on it or whatever it is while you're shopping. And it's sort of something where it's going to have to be packaged for you. So it's not like something that you can necessarily put back. You're in a way almost stuck with it once you've had the sales clerk put it into the package for you. This entire experience and learning so much after doing the readings really made me kind of reevaluate my choices when I go into a grocery store, and I'm a little bit more aware, and I'm really actively trying not to, for lack of a better term, get sucked into these ploys that supermarkets have. So really trying to evaluate, do I really need this thing or was this an impulse buy?